everybody, my name is Mr. Francy and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Today I am going to be doing a video that I was inspired to do thanks to Lee from Dark Roots Creations. So Lee put out a video recently, I will leave a link to it in the description, where she checked in on her reading goals after the first quarter of the year has now gone by. And I decided, you know what, I want to do that. I love creating goals for myself every year on booktube, and I love checking in with them too. Today you're going to get a twofer from me. We're going to check in with all 19 goals because Mr. Francy has a real problem and decides to set 19 goals for himself. I really don't know why. I'm crazy, but anyway. We're going to check in on all 19 goals and because I don't just have 19 goals, I have 20 goals. The 20th goal is my SAS list. For the first time in my booktube career, thanks very dearly to Lizzie Faye Loves Books, I'm doing a SAS list. So, we're going to check in on both. So, grab your popcorn, grab a nice drink, spread the sparkly energy around the world as I welcome you back to Mr. Francy Reads. Yes, hello and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I'm so excited to have your company here today. If you have not subscribed before, please do so. It really does help my channel. And while you're down there, if it's not too much to ask, hit that notification bell, ding, so that you can be notified each and every time I do upload a video, in order to not miss anything. Alright, let's get underway, shall we? Because I have 19 goals plus my SAS list to get through. It may be a long one. Let's jump right in. There's only one disclaimer that I want to make here, which is alluding to what I do in every single July. So, basically in July, I have a fun time playing the Void/Veto game, where I get to veto some goals. There are some goals that I already know are going to be vetoed in July, so you'll get a little bit of a spoiler here, a little bit of a heads up, because some of them I've already failed at, some of them I'm looking back at them now going, what the heck were you thinking at the time, Mr. Francy? Are you kidding me with this? So, we'll see how we go. One of them is going to be goal number 1. Let's jump right in. Alright, so the first goal that I had for 2022 was to place no more than 6 books onto my TBR. The reason why I didn't want to place more than 6 books on my TBR for each month was because I have re-enrolled into university. I am doing a literature degree at the moment, and I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself by putting too many books onto my TBR. You guys, I pretty much failed this from the jump. I mean, I don't remember if I had 6 books on my January TBR or not, but I do remember I read more than 6 books, and I at least had 9 books on my February TBR, and I had 10 books on my March TBR, and on my current April TBR, I've got 13. So, I mean, I've already failed at this. This one's going to get vetoed. The good news is that I didn't really need this goal. I think I was just a little overprotective of myself and my time and didn't think I would be able to do it. But hey, I've succeeded so far, and I love TBRs. Whether I get through them or not, I much rather have a plethora of books that I can choose from to read and go from there, rather than putting 6 books, for example, on my TBR, getting through the first 6 and then going, well, now what the heck do I do? So, as a very organized booktuber, I much prefer to have more books on my TBR, so I have more to choose from and more to get through. But goal number 1 was a fail. Goal number 2 was to set up a reading challenge for 1 month. So this was going to be a challenge that I came up with, that I invited everyone to come along and do with me. And I did say at the time that I would be doing this reading challenge in May. Well, didn't quite happen that way. It kind of happened in February. Yes, my dears, I was getting into lovely cozy mysteries. I love them so much. So I decided to do a cozy mystery readathon called Cozy It Up with Mr. Francy. It was a whole lot of fun. We've already done it. I'm not saying that I don't plan to do any more throughout the year. I very well may do so. I mean, as I keep thinking, my birthday is coming up next month in May. I probably will want to do a reading challenge for my birthday, so we'll see how we go. But we did that in February. It was a great success. You guys really seem to love it. Thank you so much for your support. But yeah, this goal, we can basically already tick it off, which is fantastic. Goal number 3 was to read 25 cozies in 2022. You guys, so far, we're only through the first quarter. So far, I have read a total of 18 cozy mysteries in 2022. I am already so close to reaching that goal. Now, that was a minimum goal that I set for myself. I wanted to, at minimum, read 25. That's easily going to be crushed. So we'll see how we go. I may even up that number. We'll see. I'm still loving my cozies, so yay! My 4th goal was to read 6 LGBTIQ plus books in 2022 because the LGBTIQ plus community means a lot to me, being someone that is a part of that community, and being on booktube, representing the LGBTIQ plus community's books on this channel means a lot to me, and I also enjoy reading them as well. So my goal was to read 6 of them this year. I had a goal to read 12 last year. Because of uni, I halved it, and so far I have read 1. I read it last month. It was What If It's Us by Becky Albertelli and Adam Silvera, and this month I have at least 1 on my TBR, one that I can think of anyway, which was recommended to me by Casey from Books and Bops. It is called Maurice, so I'm looking forward to reading that as well. But I think this is very easily achievable, but I'm on track, and I'm happy about that. My 5th goal is one that's going to surprise everyone. Not the goal necessarily, but the status of that goal. My 5th goal was to read 12 Brandon Sanderson books. In the first quarter of 2022, Mr. I love my dear Brando Sando Francy has read 0 goose egg, 0 Brandon Sanderson books. I mean, and my goal was to read 12. Are you serious? 12 Brandon Sanderson books in a month, in the year, and I've read none in the first quarter. I don't think that I'm going to achieve this goal. I love my dear Brando Sando. I don't know if I'm going to fit 12 books in this year. We'll see how we go. Goal number 6 was to create a SAS list and read 12 of those books. I have succeeded already, and I've read 16 books on that list, which is wonderful. We'll go into that momentarily. My 7th goal was to read 3 dystopians by the end of 2022. I have read 1 so far, so I'm well on track, and that book was Legend by Marie Lu. My 8th goal was to bring back my Celebrating Booktubers series. I have definitely succeeded in that. I had done 2 at the time of taking my notes. I've now done 3 because my last video was the Celebrating Booktubers video. Hi, Stormy! So yeah, I should have 5 done by the end of April, which is really exciting. I'm very, very happy about this series, and you guys have responded really well to it as well, so thank you. My 9th goal was to continue on with my TBRs and monthly wraps, ensuring I do 12 of each, 1 for each month of the year, because they seem to be a dying form on BookTube. A lot of the bigger booktubers seem to be cutting out their TBRs and monthly wraps, and for me, they are massive cornerstones for the community, so I want to keep them up no matter what, and I have so far. I have done the first 3 months of the year's TBRs and monthly wraps, so I'm on track for that one. My 10th goal was to read 80 books in 2022. I have read 29 by the end of March, so I'm well on track with that one. My 11th goal was to buddy read at least 1 book per month in 2022. I have succeeded in this. I have read buddy read 9 books so far, so pretty good. My 12th goal was to do one live video per season. I am well on track with that, you guys. I've done countless reading sprints, and I've also done a live podcast, and I have plans in the works to continue to do more live reading sprints, more live podcasts, not only reading sprints on my channel, but on other channels as well. If you want to know more, come over to the Discord, link in the description for my Discord. And I also want to do a live chat video at some point where it's just you guys and me, we're just talking away, we're not necessarily reading, we're just chatting and having fun. I love it. You guys seem to respond to the lives really well, so I've done really well with that in the first quarter of the year, and I plan to keep that up for the remainder of the year. Thank you very much for your support. It is very much appreciated, and honestly, it's what keeps me going. Live chats aren't really that much fun when there's no one there, but you guys seem to come along to all the live things that I do, and you make it fun, so thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. Goal number 13 is to read 6 classics in 2022. I've read 1 so far, so I am on track. I do think that this goal will be achieved by the end of the year. My 14th goal was no purchasing of books that are not 5-star reads. Failed! Failed. I basically failed this in the first month of the year. This one's getting vetoed in July. I get it. I get why I set this as a goal, and I even said in the my 2022 goals video that I did in December, I was laughing and saying, this is an aspirational goal. I hope I stick to this. We'll see how we go. And I didn't even make it 1 month. So, yeah, look, I purchase a lot of books. A lot of my budget does go towards books because books are my main form of entertainment, and I want to cut down on costs. However, I, in January, had next to none of the books that were on my TBR as physical books on me, and that just did not work for me. I need the physical book. Whether I'm listening to an audio book or reading a physical book, I want the physical book on me either way. If I'm just listening to the audio book, I want the physical book on me so that I can have the bookmark and a placeholder and I can tangibly see where I'm at, where I find it really confusing when I just have the audio book. Also, not gonna lie, makes it easier on editing when I have the book on me rather than having to put it up on the screen. I'm sure it looks better when I put the books up on the screen, but it saves me time. So, many reasons why it's just easier for me to have the physical books on me. That one's getting vetoed. Alrighty, goal number 15 is to unhaul books from 2021 in 2022. Now, this is really interesting because the goal that I had here was very specific, and that was to go through my bookshelves with the books that are still on my shelves, because at that time I thought I would have unhauled the books that I had said I was going to unhaul in January, and they're still here, but the books that are up in my bookshelves that I didn't plan on unhauling, going through all of the books that I have here that I've read since 2020. If they received 2 stars or less from me, they gotta go in order to make room for new books to come in. However, I had an asterisk next to this goal, and that asterisk was that if I feel upon reread that I would have given it a better rating, then that book can stay. But if I feel upon reread it still would receive 1 or 2 stars, then it's gotta go. I haven't done this yet, but I have all year to achieve this goal, so this one's staying. Goal number 16 was to no longer provide a specific upload schedule. Failed! I compromise these days. I used to say I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now in my outro I say I like to post videos every Monday and Friday, Wednesday and Friday, so hopefully I'll see you again soon. But I'm still saying a schedule of some kind, so I mean, yeah, I failed at that. And the reason, again, why I had this goal was because of uni. I didn't know how often I would be able to upload this year. I did not know if I'd be able to stick to a schedule. I love sticking to my schedule. I love knowing the days that I want to upload each week. I just didn't think it was going to work out. Turns out that those fears were for naught because it does still work out for me. So I'm hanging on to saying my uploading schedule in each video. So look out for it at the end. And yeah, that goal can go. It will get vetoed in July. So, goal number 17 was to go back to doing weekly vlogs. Yep, I am glad that I did not say every single week, because had I said that, I would have failed. But I have mostly done reading vlogs each month, and they're more like weekly wraps than reading vlogs, but I did actually account for that in the goals video that I did. I said, now they can either be a standard reading vlog where I have clips every day, or I can do a reading vlog where it's like a weekly wrap, and I'm doing the second one. So I'm doing well with this one. I still consider it to be a pass. Goal number 18 was to replace my seasonal DNF videos with faves and non-faves of the season. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this goal. And then when I was taking notes, to do it, I'd forgotten about it. So I was like, oh wow, that was a goal? Oh gosh, I should do that. Now I won't forget about it. But now as I'm reading it out, I had forgotten about it again. If you don't see that video, now you know why. It's easy to forget about. But the goal initially was, what I used to do was seasonal DNFs. Every season, I would discuss all the books that I DNF'd in that season, as well as I discussed them in my monthly wraps. I wanted to replace that with a faves and non-faves once a season, coming to you and letting you guys know my top 3 and bottom 3 books of that season. Do you guys still want me to do that? If you do, let me know in the comments below. We'll see. Hopefully I won't forget it. We'll see how we go. And goal number 19 was a personal books recommendations video. So this was once per season. I was going to do videos where you guys could ask me for recommendations, and I would let you know what book I would recommend. So you would, for example, come to me and say, Mr. Francy, I'm looking for a fantasy book that deals with good world building and has an owl, I don't know, in the book. And I would say, well, I recommend this book to you. It was a great idea. And I want to thank everyone on Discord, because I did open this subject up over on my Discord, and some of you guys responded, and I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, it just did not seem to take off. So to those of you who did get involved on my Discord, thank you. I think what I'm going to do with that is I'll respond to you personally over on the Discord. It just didn't seem to really go that far. But I do want to thank everyone who did get involved in it, and I will get back to you over there. So that one's probably going to be vetoed, but don't worry, because I have so many plans up my sleeve for other videos to do, so that's fine. Alrighty, let's go into my SAS list. This is a list of 22 books, 22 series, sorry, that I wanted to do something with them. Whether it was to complete that series, start the series, make progress on the series, 22 series that I wanted to work on in some way, shape or form. Let's see where I'm at after the first quarter of the year. So, coming in at number 1 on my SAS list was the Betrothed series by Kiera Cass. I had read book 1, The Betrothed. It is a duology. The second book is my goal, to read it, finish it, and that would have me finish off the duology. So The Betrayed, which is book 2, is on my April TBR. So I'm reading it this month. Once the month is over, that series will be done, and I can cross it off my SAS list. So I didn't read it in the first quarter, but it's getting read this month. The second one was the Skyward series, so I have them right here, actually. So I've read Skyward and Starsight, both by Brandon Sanderson. These are part of his YA sci-fi series. This year, or last year, Cytonic was released. I do want to read Cytonic. Once I have, I'm up to date. I can cross that off. The reason why I haven't read it yet is because I'm having trouble acquiring the US editions, and I have the US editions of both Skyward and Starsight, so I don't want to get a UK edition and put it next to the US ones. It might sound materialistic, but to me, Brandon Sanderson books for me are collector's items, so I want to have the same types of books in the same series rather than mixing and matching. So that's the only roadblock for me so far. I just need to find the US edition and a way to get it to me. Once I can, we'll be all good. Or once we can at a reasonable price. Because I have found them on some websites and they're really expensive, like too expensive as far as I'm concerned. So these two cost me less than $25 each one. And the website I've seen it on for book 3, it was like $55. I mean, what the heck? That's like more than double. But anyway. We'll get to it one day. The next series, coming in at number 3, was the Del Toro Quest series. So I had read book 1. I wanted to read book 2 by the end of the year. Book 2 will be on my May TBR. It was going to be on my April TBR, but I had to move it for other things. So it will be on my May TBR. And then I can cross that off because I will have made progress, which is what I wanted to do. Next up, number 4 is Stormlight Archives. Rhythm of War is going to be the death of me. I mean, it is a 1,300 page brick. And I'm so scared that I still haven't read it. But I was talking to my mum recently and I said to her, you know what, Mum, I think I'm just going to read it alongside other books in May for the month of my birthday. I'll just read a bit here, a bit there while reading other books and hopefully it won't seem as long. But if you all have any advice to try and get me in the mood to pick up a 1,300 page chunker, please let me know. Because it's been on my shelf for quite a while. And it's right there. It's been there for pretty much a year. Alright, next one, coming in at number 5 is the Steel and Fire series. I had read book 1, Duel of Fire. King of Mist is book 2. It's on my May TBR. As with the Del Toro Quest book, I had to move it. It was on my April TBR. I had to move it over to May. Spelford Cove is the next one. Oh, hello. You can see the putty right here. Oh. Okay. I had read The Witching Flower. Thanks to Jessica from Lady Lovestead Reads for reading this series, promoting it on her channel. I was like, yes, I gotta get me this book. I did. I even kept it a secret from Jessica. It was so good. This was the best kept secret until I did my monthly wrap, and then she found out, and it was a nice surprise. Anyway, I loved this book. My goal was to read book number 2. I did that. Double Triton Trouble. I absolutely loved it. The next series is the Twilight Saga series. I wanted to read the first 4 books. I was not necessarily including Midnight Sun. I've read the first 3. So I've read Twilight, I've read New Moon, I've read Eclipse, and this month Breaking Dawn is on my TBR. So once I've read that, I will have crushed it. Yay! So that'll be that one done. Next one is the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. I read I've Got Your Number last year and I loved it so much that I decided to commit myself to a Sophie Kinsella series. Funny story, you guys, I have book 2. I don't remember. Oh, here it is. Sorry, there's a price tag there that I'm covering, but I have book 2. I just don't have book 1. So once I get book 1, I'll be able to start with that, but I think I'm going to try and get to it in May. Yeah, I have it in my notes, my trusty notes. It's on my May TBR to read book 1. Next up, The Beachfront Bakery. Okay, I hadn't read any in The Beachfront Bakery. This year, I've read the first 2, which is more than I thought I would. So I read A Killer Cupcake, and the next book, A Murderous Macron, I hope I'm right in saying that, is not available as a physical book, which is annoying, but I did listen to it on audiobook, so there you go. The next one is the Amish Candy Shop series, and I'm so sorry to say that I failed this one. I haven't read any of the Amish Candy Shop. I can't say that with a straight face. Amish Candy Shop is the most successful. Oh my gosh. Assaulted Caramel. Lethal Licorice. Premeditated Peppermint. Toxic Toffee. And the novella that went in between, and I don't remember what it is called. But anyway, book 3.5. I read 4 Amish Candy Shop series. And I'm reading book 1 in the Amish Matchmaker series this month in April. Then I'm going on to book 5 in May of the Amish Candy Shop. One of my, if not my absolute favourite cozies. I have loved this series. And Amanda Flower is fast becoming my new Brandon Sanderson. I used to every month have a Brandon Sanderson book on my TBR every month. Now I have an Amanda Flower book on my TBR every month. So, yeah, very successful with that one. Next is the Poppy McAllister series. Book 1 is this one, Class Reunions Are Murder. I read it, I didn't like it, but Stormy and I made a deal with each other to hold our hands through book number 2, which is called Midnight Snacks Are Murder. I have started reading that one, and it is a lot better than book 1. So we'll see how we go, but I'm killing that one as well. I'm crushing that one as well. The next one is the Stony Brook Mystery by Erin Scott. Book 1 is A Crafty Crime. It will be on my May TBR. I planned to read it in February, but it didn't work out with what I was doing with Cozied Up with Mr. Francy Readathon. I'll be reading it in May, so that's good. Then we have the Death by Chocolate series. I read the first 2 books. I read Death by Chocolate Cherry Cheesecake and, oh gosh, Death by Chocolate Malted Milkshake. I'm so proud of myself for remembering because I don't have the physical copies. They were library books. Yes, I read the first 2. Not going to continue on with the series, but I made progress on this series, so that's a win for me. Next, we have the Donut Shop series. Yes, I read book 1, Glazed Murder by Jessica Beck, which is a pen name. I forgot the guy's name. It's a male author for that one. Did not like it at all. I'm not planning to continue on with that series, but I tried the first book and I'm proud of myself for doing that. Next one was the Booktown Mystery series. And yes, the book 1 is over here. Murder is Binding. I read this book. I loved it. That's an unpopular opinion, by the way, but I love this one. So I'm definitely going to continue on with the series. The next one is The Secret Book and Scone Society. I picked up book 1. The Secret Book and Scone Society series book 1 is called The Secret Book and Scone Society, and I DNF'd it. I shelved it temporarily and then decided to DNF it. It just wasn't working for me. I had to shelve it because I had to pick up a book that I was doing for a read-along, and I just had no motivation to go back to it. So I gave it a go. I did, but ultimately DNF'd it. Okay, then we have the Nantucket Candle Maker Mystery Series. Book 1 I read last month in March, and that is this book, Murder's No Votive Confidence. Absolutely loved the book. Do not recommend going into it thinking that you're going to get a candle series, because book 1 had next to no candle stuff at all. But the book on its own, if we ignore the title of the series and the title of the book, was good. So yay, we did that one, and I will continue on with the series because I liked it. The next one is the Dinner and Murder Mystery series by Veronica Bond. Yes, Death in Castle Dark. Ding, 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 ding. Oh my gosh, loved that book. It's the only one that's out so far in the series. I'm going to read more. I'm going to read book 2 when it comes out. Loved book 1, but so far I've completed all the books in the series. There's only one. So there you go. Then, haven't got to any of the last 4. So the final 4 series are the Southern Ghost Hunter series, the Sloane Krause series, the Cape Cod Foodie Mystery series, and the Silver Six Crafting Mystery series. I haven't read any of the books in those series, but I've done well. I've made some major progress only being 3 months in. So, that brings us to the end of this video. How have you been doing with the goals that you set for yourself in 2022? Let me know the highlights in the comments section below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you guys go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah! Now, be kind and love one another. If there's anything the world needs right now, well, you know the song, but it is love. So spread that love, and of course spread that sparkly energy all around the world. You know, it takes a village, people, it does. So spread that sparkly energy and be positive and just spread all the good positiveness around the world. And until I see you guys next time, happy reading!